asked the question, then you said it, always saying things you'll regret.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing Barbie makeup and we're starting it out with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer because we need to look poreless. We need to look like a perfect Barbie doll. I am 100% sure that Barbie would use the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I went ahead and actually mixed it with the Makeup Forever Reboot foundation just to get a better shade for me. I still went ahead and intentionally went deeper, a little more tan than I was, just to give more of that Barbie suntan look. But I love these two foundations mixed together so much. That Huda Beauty foundation it makes you look like a Barbie. It makes you look absolutely flawless and perfect and like you have a filter on 24/7. And then just adding that Makeup Forever Reboot just gives it a little bit more of a glow and a little bit more of a skin-like finish. So it is honestly my favorite foundation combination, and it was perfect for creating Barbie skin. Don't forget to brush it onto the ears, down the neck, and I even brought it down onto my chest as well to make sure that we were not looking too crazy. Then I picked up my dampened beauty blender and picked up the rest of the product on the back of my hand and just went over everything to further smooth it out, really push that product into the skin and create even more of a skin-like quote unquote natural finish. We're not really going for anything natural today, but you get the point. I love using the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation Plus Concealer as concealer. If you haven't tried it as a concealer, you really should because it is so good. So I'm just going ahead and brightening up under the eyes, down the center of the nose, in between the brows and on the forehead, and then on the sides of my mouth area, as you can see, just to bring that forward and create a little bit more of a Barbie face shape, as well as underneath the cheekbones. I'm also using that to prime my eyelids for eyeshadow later. Then I'm using the Makeup by Mario shaping stick in the shade medium. I really enjoy this product for cream contouring. Barbie would definitely have a snatched jawline, so I was pretty generous in that area. And I went ahead and did under the cheekbones and around the perimeter of the forehead as well. And it's so easy to create a nose contour with this stick because you can just use the side of it and create a straight line so easily. And then I'm just taking that same foundation brush that I used for my foundation. I haven't wiped it off or cleaned it or switched brushes or anything. And it does such a beautiful job blending out that cream contour. The brush I'm using is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, which I'm obsessed with. See how easily it just blends out that cream contour with very little work. Then I'm taking that same beauty blender, again, haven't washed it off or switched it or anything, and I'm blending out the areas that we did concealer. I felt like it was a little too sharp under the contour, so I just picked up that brush again to kind of soften that line a little bit. Then I'm picking up that same brush again to blend out the nose contour. Look at how beautifully that blends out. I really am so obsessed with this method for cream contouring. And then I'm going to actually leave that concealer that's down the center of my nose. We have not touched it, have not blended it out. We're just going to leave it there for a little bit and then come back to it. Now I'm blending out the creases, any creasing under my eyes, and using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Translucent Setting Powder to go ahead and set the makeup using a triangle powder puff. I have recently fallen back in love with this powder. It is so good. It honestly is as good as high end, and it's so cheap. It's like $6 for a very generous sized container, and it just wears beautifully. It makes your skin look so smooth and airbrushed. It's great for baking, and it's kind of nice to bake with because I always feel like I'm, you know, wasting money if I am generously baking with a really expensive setting powder. So it's great. Also, you saw me go ahead and blend out that concealer down the center of my nose with my finger very gently. Then I'm dusting away the areas where we baked. And now we're moving on to brows. And I'm just using an angled brush with a light brown cool toned eyeshadow, because that's pretty much the same thing as a brow powder. So that's just what I always use. Rather than purchasing separate brow powders, I just have certain eyeshadows that work really well as my brow powders. And I'm filling in those brows to create as perfect and Barbie looking brows as I can with my sparse brows. Then we're using the Huda Beauty New Nude Eyeshadow Palette. And we are first going into the shade Tickle, which is a pink shade. And we're just running that all along the upper crease, going back and forth and blending it out towards my temples also. Then I dip into that same shade again and do a second layer. When I'm doing a transition shade for a makeup look, I always love to dip into that transition shade twice because it just really makes it that much more pigmented and everything else blend that much smoother on top of it. Then the next shade we're doing is the shade Spanked, and these are all matte shades in the palette. Spanked is kind of a just pinkish purpley shade, a little bit deeper than the Tickle shade we used before. And blending that out toward the temples, and then using a smaller blending brush and going in with the purple matte shade called Love Bite and keeping that closer to the crease. This really is a very easy, very like foolproof eyeshadow look. Anybody can do this. If you're a beginner at makeup, I know that you totally could do this. Like if you're doing a Barbie costume for Halloween or whatever, you totally could do this makeup. Then I'm just taking an even smaller, more dense, tightly packed brush and doing some more of that purple Love Bite shade just to bring even a little bit more definition to the crease. Then we're going into the Modern Renaissance palette and picking up the, oh my goodness, I forgot the name, but it's the like matte shade in the palette that's like a bright cream, and it's got just a hint of like a satin finish, and I put that on the eyelids. Then we're going in with the Love Bite shade again and just doing that on the lower waterline. Then just going in with some black eyeliner just to create a simple line along the lash line. You could totally do a winged eyeliner if that's your thing. That's not my thing, so I just kept it really simple and lined the eyes with that. Then I used the bright white shimmer shade in the Modern Renaissance palette to brighten up the inner corners of my eyes. Then curling the lashes, popping on a little bit of mascara just to get ready for falsies later on. Then I picked up the, I believe it's called Cypress Umber, the brown shade in the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm using a very tiny little angled brush. It's the Anastasia number 12 brush, and creating some little lower lashes with that brown. Doing it in brown rather than black keeps it really soft, and it just kind of creates a little bit more of a cartoony look on the eyes without being too overpowering. Then for blush, I'm using the She Glam liquid blush in the shade Love Cake, one of my favorite blushes of all time. And even though it's liquid, it goes beautifully over powder. And then I'm using the Essence 24-hour lasting, extreme lasting eye pencil in Silky Nude. And look how much that brightens up the eyes. That gives a cartoon look as well. Then I'm using these lashes from Shein I went ahead and measured them and trimmed them, make sure we got them down to the right size for my eyes. And then I actually curled them, popped them in my lash curler, gave them a little curl. And then I'm using this lash glue from Amazon. And I am painting on a little line just like eyeliner. I may have been able to skip the actual eyeliner that I did, but just to be sure, I did the real eyeliner and then the lash glue as liner. And I put some on the actual lashes as well on the inner and outer corners. And went ahead and applied those. And I must say these were like the perfect Barbie doll lashes in my opinion, especially with giving them that extra curl in the lash curler. Also, I just went over some little areas on the lash band with the liner again. And then I went ahead and moved on to lips. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink Lip in the shade Romantic. It is a Barbie pink if I ever did meet one. So I went ahead and applied that, and I was not anticipating to be feeling this lip color. Like, this is probably the last lip color I'd ever just choose to wear on a given day, but I actually was kind of loving it. And it was just so fun. So that just needs to remind me to try new things, because as much as I love a nude lip, a bright color can be so fun. So there you have it, just with as the matte lip, how it looks on its own. But I did go ahead and put this very bright iridescent light pink gloss over the top. It's the Essence Shine 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 lip gloss in the shade Smile Sparkle Shine 02 Pink. And I felt like that just made it even that much more Barbie looking. Again, I was just like, I was into this lip color. I went ahead and applied a little bit more blush, and I really focused it up toward the temples, because applying blush up toward the temples is the move. It is so flattering, and I'm obsessed. Then I went ahead and took that cream shade from the Anastasia palette again, and I created this skinny little line down the bridge of my nose. I wish I would have stopped there where I first had it instead of bringing it all the way down. I feel like it made my nose have like a really long appearance rather than just like a little skinny Barbie nose, but that's okay. I was feeling this makeup. I was not expecting to be feeling this makeup as much as I was feeling it, but I felt cute. I felt really just like a Barbie. Then it was time to put on the wig, and you guys, this is where things went downhill, because, and that was a look, because the wig was just so bad. But, you know, it's fun. It's Barbie costume look, whatever. But honestly, I wish that I would have just not done the wig and just kind of straightened my own hair and just called that the Barbie look, because you'll see, it's just not that cute. But it's okay. It's just for fun. So I went ahead and put it on, and you see it just kind of, it's just not it. This wig is not it. But that's okay. It's fun. It's Barbie. I hope you enjoyed this look. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful day.
Can we try?